I'm Leigh LaRie.
And I'm Nik B.
Listen, we're just two single girls from the City of Roses discussing all things love, lust, and perception.
And roses are a symbol of all things beautiful about love.
But as you know, love can get a little dirty. So we're here to talk about it.
Dirty Roses Podcast starts now.
Hey, I'm Leigh LaRie.
And I'm Nik B.
And welcome to Dirty Roses Podcast. We are in...
Season 6!
6! I can count.
Season 6.
I don't know if we want to call this 6 Rings, Game 6. I don't know.
The Sixth Man?
The Sixth Sense?
The Sixth... Something with a 6 in it. We'll figure it out.
That's too many 6s now.
That's a lot of 6s.
Take it back.
Put some holy water on all those 6s. Right. Just 6 season.
But guess what?
What, bitch?
I literally was going to not...
Do it again. I'm going to do it better for the camera. Do it again.
Guess what?
What, bitch?
Okay. That wasn't rehearsed at all.
It really wasn't. At least not the second one.
Okay. We are doing our seasonal, I won't say annual.
It's our recap episode.
Our recap episode. Woo! Yeah. Where we talk about last season and this season.
Yeah.
The whole episode dedicated to talking about
what
our
we
shows.
talk about. The episode that we talk about what we talk about.
And y'all love it because y'all love us.
At least we do.
But before we do that,
yes,
let's catch up.
Okay.
What has been going on with you since last season?
I broke up with my mans and them.
Oh, the kind of man that she was kind of mentioning but didn't fully mention?
Yeah.
Oh,
it just didn't work out.
Aww.
He just didn't take me out.
Fucking guy.
Unfortunately, it just
Oh, this is the guy that never took the date. Like,
yeah.
Oh,
ladies, have you ever been on a date where you never went? That's what I did. Yeah.
Had a whole boyfriend and no dates.
No dates. And I'm not exaggerating. And this is actually no shade to him because he's actually a pretty decent dude. I think the issue really was our work schedules just didn't work for each other.
Yeah.
And so, after some trying to make plans and trying to figure it out and just basically being like, I just don't think that we are each other's person, not in this season of each other's lives, at least.
Yeah.
And so let's make room for each of us to find somebody else that's more compatible with our lifestyles, I guess.
So you guys still in communication?
Oh,
still
yeah.
cool?
I would say we're good friends.
Okay.
Not best friends, but he's absolutely someone I can still call on if, I'm dying from the clots or something.
Jesus Christ.
I can call on him if I'm not feeling well.
That part. What else is going on? Like, that's been the biggest thing?
I mean, 2025 has been a year. In general, I think everybody is feeling it. Eggs are finally starting to come down, but they still high.
Yeah.
But, other than that, just, lots of changes in our world as far as works are concerned and families. And 2025 has just been a year. Like I said, ended one relationship. Right now, I'm just comfortable chilling, not dating anybody at the moment, unless you're trying to date me. And then I'd like you to slide into my inbox, and then I can slide back into yours, and we could talk about some photos and stuff.
Oh, some special photos.
But what about you? What's going on with you this year?
Dates?
Yeah, have you been on any dates?
I think I've been on... Have I been open on it?
I don't feel like if you have it.
I didn't tell you.
Ooh.
I did go on a date.
Where?
Locally here with a local.
You guys, she is breaking her rule.
What?
You went on a date with a local.
I did go on a date with a local.
Okay.
We went to a nice little restaurant. That little small local,
Some place where nobody will see you. That's why. Okay, so that's how she's doing it. If you go on a date with Leigh LaRie within the city limits of Portland, Beaverton, Clackamas metro area, you're going to go to a dive and you're going to run into nobody. And then she will not post it on social. And it will be like it never happened.
Bitch, why you act like you know me?
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Should be like no photos, no proof.
I did celebrate a birthday.
Okay.
After last season, I had my birthday and I took myself out. Oh. I did a whole solo date thing, and you know how folks be doing their birthday and they be like, we're going to dinner on this night, and then this night we're going to the club, and then this night we're doing this.
Yeah.
I absolutely took myself on several dates. Solo by myself. I went to some really nice restaurants, like ones that you had to get on a wait list to get in. Rooftop bar lounge. Well, it was a rooftop restaurant. It was like really nice. I got dressed up. Like I really got dressed. Took
Aw.
myself out.
I bet you appreciated you, didn't you?
I did. I did. I took myself out and then I showed myself a
Good
good
time.
time. You know what I'm saying? But no, I actually really did appreciate the time by myself. Like I actually kind of enjoyed the solo date. Like I never thought I was gonna be that person to like.
Yeah.
I can do I take myself out to eat for lunch or something like that, but I've never done the like the nighttime go intentionally to a place where I have to have a reservation and sit by myself. And I absolutely enjoyed it. I went to a place here called Departure.
At the Nines.
At the Nines, yeah. So on the top of and they were so nice. There was.
Had you never been?
I had never been.
Been many times. It's especially in the summer. Nice cool breeze up there.
Well,
It's
my
nice.
birthday's in December, so
Well,
there's
then,
that.
a little icy
But it was
breeze.
still nice. But it was really nice. It was great because the tree downtown was up, and so I had to walk maybe a block to get to the restaurant. And so I got to walk past the tree. I took some cute little pictures and some selfies. When I got there, they were so nice to me. They were like, oh, it's your birthday. They sat me down. They let me pick a seat so I could see the whole view. They done brought me dessert with a candle in it. Like, it was really nice. And then...
Were they sad for you? Like,
no, they thought it was really cool. They were
her
like,
date didn't show.
No, I did. I told them I was doing a solo date.
Let's comp her appetizer, guys.
They did comp my dessert. But no, they were like, I love that you're doing this. And they were so nice. And I actually sat next to a Olympian,
Bruce Jenner.
no, I'm trying to find the right words because I don't want to say it wrong, but the handicap Olympics?
Special Olympics?
Special Olympics. It was a lady in a wheelchair.
Okay.
And she was like an Olympian. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So I was eavesdropping on their conversation because they were right next to me. And so I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I was like, snap, snap. But yes, it was nice. And then the next day I took myself out to Cannes, which is a restaurant that has like won the James Beard Award. And that's like a really big award for restaurants.
Okay. Where is it in comparison to Michelin Awards? Because I feel like most restaurants are looking for that Michelin rating.
Yeah, that's right. I have no clue.
Okay.
But it was very nice. I sat. It's very hard to get in there. It's usually like to get more than one person in.
Yeah.
You got to be on a wait list, and so
But
because it was me by myself, I was able to slide in.
Yeah.
And so they had like a nice counter where you sat there and they cook, and they have like the kitchen's open so that everybody can see them cook.
Yeah.
And so I got to watch everything be made and played. You order it in courses, and it was just real nice and cute. They gave me a little card that went with my. They sat down and it had like a card and it said "Thank you for coming," and it had like a whole little thing.
Sweet.
And I was cute. My titty popped out on accident.
Oh my god! Like nipple?
Like full titty popped
How did
out.
that happen?
So I had this very low cut dress that couldn't wear a bra with, and so I was like, okay, I'm good. I put it on. It felt tight and secure, and I didn't realize though when I took my jacket off and I was bending over to put it down, my strap fell, my titty fell out, and I was like, scoop, and I was like, happy birthday to me. So that was interesting. But yeah, so dated myself, went on a date. I don't know if I've been on a couple dates. I've had a few conversations, talking to a few people. But since the last episode, we did go to Baltimore for a podcast festival that we talked about going to.
Wow, that was a while ago.
That was. We talked about we were going to it, but we hadn't gone yet.
Yeah, we went to the Afros and Audio podcast event.
And that was this girl right here.
Okay, first of all, it wasn't my fault that they did not bring out the tacos.
She made a name for us from the first night.
Jesus.
Okay, listen.
Both of us made a name, though. Let's not act like I wasn't the only one that stood out.
I mean, I stood out because I was yelling about your tacos to you across the room.
So it was a group effort.
But you stormed out.
Yo,
We're still coming to the story. Okay, so we were at a
mad.
mixer. We were at like this first night mixer thing, and it's like all these different podcasters. They're doing a whole little presentation, and they're doing like these song things. So at this point in the night, we had all been drinking, and it's been a long day. She had just drove up from Virginia to Baltimore. I had been there like maybe 2 days before, and so she's at the table with a few folks that we had met.
Yeah.
I was standing up talking to some people. They were doing like the lyrically correct game where they give you a clue and you yell out the song title or the artist or whatever. And I was killing it, because I used to do radio.
To be fair, before we started this game, I had put an order in for 3 shrimp tacos. Okay. Before the game started.
She
Continue.
She did.
Now
okay.
You can continue.
So there's a little bar window that you can go and order your drinks at, and everybody's going up and getting their drinks. They had food options. So she went up there, she ordered things, sat down, we're doing the game. She's like, hey, yo, Leigh LaRie, can you tell me about my tacos?
Now, before I yelled out asking Leigh LaRie to check on my tacos is because I had already been to the window asking about my tacos 2 times. And each time I waited about 20 minutes between.
Mm-hmm.
And on the second time when I went up there, they was like, oh, my bad. We gave your tacos to that last person. We didn't realize. And I was like, okay. And I was like, so are you going to, you know, what are we doing about that? And they're like, well, we can either make you some new tacos, or we can, you know, like we can comp a drink for you. I was like, or you could do both.
Right.
I was like, I will gladly have another drink while you're getting my tacos for me that I already paid for.
That part.
And so they was like, so they got me my drink, and at this point is when I went and sat down, now Leigh is at the taco line, just talking, not in line though.
Yeah, and she's like, where's my tacos? And I'm like, okay, hold on. So I go to the window, and I'm like, hey, my co-host over there is waiting on tacos. She's been waiting for a minute, you know, where the tacos at? They then tell me the kitchen's closed. We comped her drink, and that's what she asked for, and we don't have her tacos. And
at that point, I literally stood up.
Hold on. You didn't walk out. So I had to yell back at you. So at this point, we now have the attention of the entire room, and the whole room is invested in whether or not she's getting her tacos. So I come back, and she's looking, and I'm like, they ain't got the tacos. And she's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I literally stood up, said, what the fuck, walked out, slammed, so the doors were like...
Well, first she slammed a chair against the table.
Slammed the chair against it because I got to tuck it in. I mean, that's just rude to leave it out, right? And so, now if you can imagine, like, those doors to a gym where you push it and the handle kind of goes or whatever... And so you push the doors open, and it makes a huge loud sound. And I'm like, I'll be in the car.
And she literally stormed out. Like, it was like the two doors flung open, like somebody had held them open for her. And she when I say stormed out, like, we're not talking about like a little walk.
So mad.
She literally like stomped, temper tantrum, walked out the room. And everybody then, like, you could hear the wind of the heads move towards me. And they're like, whoosh. And I'm like, I guess I gotta go. So then I'm like trying to find her because we came separately because she literally drove from Virginia straight to the venue. I had Ubered from the hotel. And so I'm like, I don't even know where she parked at. And so I'm like walking around this place. I'm like, hey, you see my friend Taco, you know, because I need to get her a ride. And so I'm calling. I'm like, where? She's like, I'm in the parking lot. And I'm like, okay. So we get out there.
And we ended up going to Popeyes and getting the tackle box.
And she did. She got her some shrimp. She finally got her some soul shrimp. And then she get back to the room and she was like, she was fucking nasty. It was
nasty. I was still so mad. So of course the next day I was like, did you ever get your tacos?
So then she was dubbed the taco lady for the entire weekend, which was great.
I'm just saying, don't play with my shrimp tacos. You said they were coming and you lied. And you gave them away.
Don't piss her off. Tacos are important, and especially when you've been drinking and you're tired and you've been driving all day. But yeah, so that was a fun event though. We met a lot of people. We did some impromptu interviews. Our crazy little questions that we've been asking people. And so we'll probably post some of those soon. We learned a lot. We met a lot of people. Had some really weird experiences, but it was cool.
It was good.
Yes, we'll just leave it at that. But we're excited to go back again this coming year, so that's gonna be fun. What else? Anything else happened to us podcast-wise?
I think that's it.
Yeah, we aired season 5, and it was great. We finally got it out, and let's we want to dip into our favorite episodes?
Let's do it.
Okay. So we had our recap episode.
Where we talked about what we talked about. Like how right now we're talking about what we talked about.
So we'll pass by that one. This one was one of our favorites.
Which one?
In Killing Color.
Oh yeah.
So this is that's gonna be your word for the season. In Killing Color with Candra Howell. We met her at the podcast festival in North Carolina. And she was very much a person who got her kind of claim to her platform by being kind of toxic online. Like, she was a shit starter on purpose. And she very much claims this. She's like, I was intentionally pissing people off and it was working for me. And if it worked for her, I loved it because, for us, it wouldn't work. But she would piss people off and say some stuff and they would click the rage bait. I think she's probably the first one to ever do rage bait at this point because she was saying some wild ass shit. But she has a show called In Killing Color. It's a podcast where she talks about black serial killers. And it's like a really interesting take on it too, because it's not like just telling this dramatic, sad story. She's funny. Yeah. And the way she tells these stories was freaking hilarious. We could not stop laughing, and I felt really bad.
We couldn't close our mouths. We were in awe.
Oh my god! In fact, one of the clips I posted
was it me?
No, it was about one of the stories, and we cracked up. It was like this lady, the girl, the 17-year-old who killed 25 men after she slept with them, and we were cracking up because Nicole was like, Your dick was whack and your dick was whack, stab. She used him as furniture. We're freaking hollering. So we post a clip online, and this guy gets on there and was like, if a man was killing women and talking about it, you guys wouldn't think it was funny. And I was like,
yeah, we would.
Actually, we would, though. You don't know us very well. Follow our podcast. But my favorite story was the damn drag queen. She told the story. It was like this drag queen went to prison. And let me stop saying it. It was a transgender woman.
Okay.
So we took that and ran with it as a drag queen. So we're imagining this old glittery cane, big wig wearing dress, 7 foot tall drag queen. And it absolutely was just a transgender woman. But had went to prison for like 30 years, 25 years, some extended amount of time.
Get out and still cut up.
Went to prison for murdering somebody, served time, got out as like a 75, 80-year-old woman, transgender woman, and then came out and then killed somebody within months.
They didn't learn that
lesson.
And
the funniest part was that she was like, the woman went to Home Depot in her scooter and was like getting the supplies to then murder somebody and hide the body. And had like a little flour bag, and she was just driving. And I swear to God, we couldn't stop laughing. But you got to go listen to the episode because that was hilarious. Shout out to Candra. She was amazing. I like her. We'll have to have her back because there was so many stories that she told, and she was like, I could tell my own personal stories of people I know. We were like, oh. And
then if you go and listen to that episode, you'll hear some of my own personal stories of people I know that.
Yes, because Nik B has been very close to some murderous people.
I have, and I didn't even know.
Yeah, I'm scared. Healthy co-parenting with Jamilah and Elle. Now, listen, we've known Jamilah for years.
Yes.
Debutante sisters. You went to high school with her.
And high school.
Oh, you went to middle school?
No. High school.
Just
only.
high school. Okay.
Yep.
I was like, dang. But I went to middle school with you, and I'm acting like you went to middle school. Girl, I'm so slow. Anyways, this is funny. Jamilah had a high school boyfriend. They separated. They broke up in high school.
Right.
They both
got married.
They each got married. And then Elle married Jamilah's high school boyfriend. They didn't know each other before then, but she was married to her boyfriend, the guy that she dated in high school. Elle and her husband then got divorced. Jamilah then started dating the same guy again, and then her and Elle became besties.
Best friends,
and now they are
co-parenting.
Sister moms.
Yeah, they're co-parenting because Elle had 2 children
with him.
Or
yes.
one.
Two
children, and then Jamilah and her husband then had a child.
Yes, Jamilah had a child, and then she had another one.
She's also got 2 children from her previous marriage.
I think 1 child from previous marriage.
2.
Oh, 2? I think you're right. Okay, yeah, we're gonna roll with that.
If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong.
Then whatever. They got kids. Anyways, they co-parent together, and they co-parent really well. Like it's almost like this Disney fantasy co-parenting situation, because I don't know not a single person that has this experience. I know I surely don't.
But I wish more people did.
I do too.
It's just good for the kids.
I mean, I don't know if I do.
For the parents to get along, period. Just for the parents to get along and be on the same page of a parenting plan.
Having that support, like being able to you can lean on each other to watch kids.
And not worry that, you're over at your stepmama's and it's an issue, but it's with love.
That part. And I think at one point they lived in the same apartment building.
They did.
Like next door to each other.
Yeah.
Like they were, like when I say they're close. They're close. But it was really nice to see. It's something that we all could learn from. I'm working on it. So, there's that. Delusional dating, fantasy versus reality.
With TP.
Yes. Out of Atlanta. Barber from Atlanta. Barber, bodega owner.
Okay.
Rapper, podcaster. Creative suite having, like a creative space.
A tripper dater. Not to be confused with a stripper dater.
Yo, he did not think that joke was funny. I still laugh about that. He was talking about his girlfriend, and he had mentioned, he was describing her and how they met and all these things, and he goes, she's a real tripper, and we both heard stripper, and so we were like, and I think I almost spit out my drink, and Nick was like, oh, if you like strippers, cool, and he looked at us and was like, we go on trips and stuff. He just kept talking, and we were like, "Oh, tripper!"
Our bad.
He was like,
"Yeah."
And but we talked about how women kind of have like a delusional version and idea of dating men, and I shared a story about how I talked to somebody, and even though he was like, "Yeah, I don't do long distance," and I was like, "We're gonna be together," and we weren't, obviously, but we kind of share. We all share. Well, Nik B didn't share any stories. I've been calling you your real name all season.
I know, right?
I don't know.
That's not my name. My name is Nik B.
But we did share some stories, and he kind of clowned me for feeling the way I felt about mine. I was like, oh,
your feelings are wrong.
My feelings are invalid.
Wrong and invalid.
But he did give us some good insight about like, having reasonable boundaries and reasonable expectations and all the things. And so if you listen to that episode, he actually dropped some bars for us. So if you want to hear those bars, you gotta watch that episode. What Men Want
with my friend Will.
That was a surprisingly good episode.
It was really, really good.
Like, and I say surprising, not because he's not a good speaker or they didn't have good insight. I just, it had some really good, clear, communicative information that we all could use. And people really loved that episode.
I will say this. So far for season 5, that has been our highest viewed episode of that season. And it's also been the one episode that we've received the most feedback, especially from men who are saying, I feel heard in this episode.
Absolutely.
And that he represented men very well with a clear and concise message on things that men need to feel safe in their relationship, their validations and expectations. It was just, listen, if you haven't had a chance to listen to it, you should go back and listen or watch if you'd like to watch. But it was a really good episode, and I think women can take from it the opposite of what we may think men want, because we sometimes think men want based on what we've created in our heads.
Yeah, or what we see on social media, all the things. It was nice because it was a very non-toxic view of, like, I think we've had a lot of, like, toxic men on our show.
Which are always fun.
They're fun. They're good clickbait episodes, and they say things that actually could be valid points, but because of how they deliver
Sometimes the delivery is trash.
And then, when you know their personal background, you'd be like, But when Will said it, it was like, oh, that makes sense.
I get it.
You said it with a degree. Got it.
You said it with a degree.
But no, it was actually a really good episode. And men and women alike could like really relate to that one. Yeah. So I loved it. Hey, shout out to Will. Coloring Outside the Lines, Non-Traditional Dating with Queen Drissy.
Yeah. So Queen Drissy is actually a friend of mine. And what was great about this episode is what we learned of her on the show was not the person that I knew of in real life, but that's because you don't always know people the way you think you know people. And where I think she had always portrayed kind of this by the book, cookie cutter, good girl. In the past, she decided she wanted to start exploring her sexuality. Yeah. And found out there were some things about herself that she didn't even know she liked. And so we really dove into transitioning from being this real cookie cutter expected, good girl, traditional dating to really exploring what makes you happy in different ways, in non-traditional ways.
And what I liked about that episode was that we've had episodes with, we had the kinks and freaks. We've had the sexual compatibility. We've had all kinds of like episodes where we talk about these things. Yeah. And it's like so sex focused, which is like kind of the basis of it. But her episode was really about exploration, about learning yourself, about finding out what you like. And it felt like, because she's an artist, it felt very poetic almost when she talked about it. And it was like, oh, I can kind of relate to liking these things and not feeling like it's like a freak show, right? Like she can sit in her truth. Yeah, absolutely. And the part about where she expressed that she's like, I'm not your traditional, Instagram, beauty or what society views as quote unquote beautiful. And she's like, the misconception is that people think that I can't get anything, and while I'm over here getting everything. Right. And so I love that because she represented like a good majority of women in society. Yeah. And being able to say, hey, I might not look like what you guys view as sexy on social media, but I absolutely am sexy. I absolutely can get these men to want me and do the things that
that your man won't do.
All the things that your man won't do. Okay, but I did love that episode. Yeah. You cannot Google her. No, you cannot find her.
She does not want to be found. She is living her best life without you in her business.
Absolutely, and that might be the way to go. Stress, Love, and Burnout with Cassandre Dunbar. Let me say this. Dr. Cassandre. And I will apologize to Dr. Cassandre because I got so excited about this episode.
But you forgot her credentials.
I did. And I'm like, bitch, you know, you earned them letters.
Right.
I need to give you your respect.
Okay, give them flowers.
But she's so down to earth. It almost is like, you don't feel like you're talking to like a high person that's like, you must listen to me, and I have all these things.
A doctor.
Yes, but she's so down to earth, and she had some really great insight. We talked about we met her at the podcast festival
the first one.
in North Carolina. But she talked about the ways that you experience stress, where you experience burnout, anxiety, depression, and she kind of differentiated all those things because, like we had talked about, a lot of people will kind of group those into one thing. Like, I'm stressed out. Oh, you must be depressed. Or, you know, they have the similar, you know, side effects or whatever symptoms, but they are very different and you address them differently. And so she talked about how that impacts your relationships, personally, professionally, platonic, all those things. She talked about how that could impact your sex life, you know, things to look for when
and how
you're
to
noticing.
cope, how to problem solve and just sort of move past things. Not really move past them, but identify them and how to remedy some of the problems.
The biggest takeaway I had was the burnout one, where we talked about like friend burnout or relationship burnout, and where she talked about what are the feelings that you get when you're around a certain person. Is it that you crave to be around them, or is it that you feel different, you feel sad, you feel like you're drained when you're around the people, and then you're experiencing burnout from that person.
You take time out.
And
that's okay.
And the good thing was is that a timeout didn't mean that you cut that person off completely out of your life. It's just that you to pull back a little bit and reset, and then figure out how you want to navigate that relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a relationship, work, whatever it is. So I really enjoyed that piece of it. So it was a good episode. So shout out Dr. Cassandra. Yes. Winning Together, Marriages and Business with Dominic and Kenda. Was it Kenda? Kenda. I call it Kendra. Kenda Lawson. And they both have their own podcast.
Yes.
Dominic is Black as America. And then Kenda has the B Word. And Dr. Cassandra, sorry, going back, Dr. Cassandra has Be Well Sis.
Be Well
She's
Sis.
Also a podcaster.
Be sure to follow her as well.
Absolutely. But Dominic and Kenda both have podcasts. We met them at the podcast festival. This is like a whole season of podcasts. It was really good, though. And Dominic has kind of taken us under his wing to help us, you know, make sure we're staying on track, you know?
Doing the right thing. No, but their episode was great. I really loved watching a married couple that has, first of all, that both work from home. So they're in really tight spaces. So figuring out how they are able to separate personal and business all while under the same roof for both functions.
Right.
And you can imagine, kind of going back to the burnout episode, that they could probably get pretty burned out from each other when you're working side by side with your spouse and work is so close to each other's and you're sometimes in the same room all the time. Right. You're like, yo, I am tired of you and your draws. I'm just saying. So it was good to see a healthy relationship that recognizes these things and kind of learn how they work around those things.
I liked it too because they told us their love story, which was so cute. How they started out in ROTC together in high school, and they separated, and they met on the highway again, and they were separated by, I forgot. And the wind was blowing. It was driving down with the top down, and they were like, meet me at exit 71 and we're gonna blow kisses and drive off into the sunset. I mean, we totally made that part up, but it was a really cute love story, and I liked how they established how they had that like a love-hate relationship in high school, and how it kind of blossomed into like this beautiful love story. So it was cute, kind of like relationship goals a little bit. It was cute. You know, I don't know if I want to work with my partner, but I like what they got going on, and they got some really amazing podcasts. I like it for them. So check out their podcast. Barbershop Talk with Uncle E.
Uncle E, what up?
Out of Baltimore. Gotta say it like that, Baltimore. You gotta say Baltimore, and you gotta say two.
Sorry, friends from Baltimore. I know you hate us.
I ain't sorry, because y'all say it like that.
Oh my gosh. Yo, it was great. High energy. We met him actually at a wine fest.
Yeah, so he does the Wine on the Water, Baltimore, which they got one coming up in June. And then another one in September, which we're going to be going to, which I'm so excited.
Pay for content.
Yeah. But we met him there. He was such a big support for us, like even to get our tents and everything else. And then he had talked about wanting to dibble and dabble in podcasting. So we were like, you need to come on the show. So we talked about previous hot topic episode or conversations and topics where we asked him, based on your conversations and things in barbershops,
what do you think of XYZ?
Yeah, what do men think? And it was things like women proposing. It was things about body enhancements.
And,
giving head. We talked a lot about. I think oral took like a good 15 minutes of our episode. You learn a few things about me and Nik B. Unfortunately for me.
She put a whole muffin in her mouth earlier. Like the big Costco size one. Bitch. One bite, one take.
Bitch. It's a wonder why I'm a single.
Prove me wrong.
Anywho, that episode was interesting because I liked we did get some good insight about.
She didn't do the muffin on air.
I did
in case
not.
You're looking
and
for
it
that.
Was like a tiny muffin, like little mini muffins. I did do it one bite, but whatever. Back to topic. We did get some good insight about what men think and what they talk about behind closed doors. We got to ask her, she's so immature. We're never going to get to this episode. Kid. But it was fun. Shout out to Uncle E. We're excited to see you again. If you want to check him out, Wine on the Water Baltimore on social media. If you want to come with us to Baltimore in September.
We got room in the tent.
We do. We're getting 2 tents this year. We've got a good group of girls.
Tent.
Hey, we're gonna be drinking and having a good time, making
fraternizing with the security.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But what was your favorite episode last season?
Favorite episode of last season. Let me think here. Sorry, I'm real distracted right now.
The muffin just took her out.
I'm still thinking about that muffin. And then when she plays back, she's going to pause and she'll be like, bitch, why you make me sound like
I swear to God. Look, first of all, we can just talk about this real quick, okay? Every season, you make me sound like a philandering mouth whore, and I don't understand why.
Because you set yourself up for me to come right on in there with the jokes. I can only work off your energy.
Oh my gosh, she makes it sound like she's like an angel, and this is so horrible.
Oh God, I did have a favorite episode last season. I actually, aside from Will's episode, which turned out to be just fantastic, I really just enjoyed the co-parenting episode.
Okay.
It was one of my favorites, especially because I was able to talk about my own kids a little bit.
And by kids, she means her
Smokey
cats.
and Rosie.
If y'all ever go back to like season 1 and 2, when she was virtual, like we used to do recordings and she'd be in Virginia still, recording from her computer, and her cat, absolute Smokey. It was just Smokey. Smokey has like a thing, and he would absolutely sit up on her shoulder and put his ass in the camera every single episode.
Or just start meowing while we're talking.
By half of season 2, she had a water bottle that she was now squirting her cat with every.
And you'd see me coming up with the water bottle, looking off camera. We'd be knee deep in a conversation with somebody else, and the camera cuts to me, and you just see me sneaking up with my little water gun. For no reason.
She's the awkward cat lady. We need to get that on a shirt.
It's all right, man. If you into cats, you into me. Come on. Ooh. Go ahead. What was your favorite episode?
I really like the In Killing Color because I just have a dark sense of humor, and I still laugh at those because they were really fun to make reels, like putting little inserts in, little
chair is not a chair.
The chair is not a chair. That was classic. I swear to, listen, that story was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
This lady, I think she said she was a Ghanaian princess or something like that, and so. She was 17, and every man she slept with, she killed, and then turned him into furniture.
She probably was actually really into women.
She probably was. Yeah. But the funnier part was that then she told us that she had actually used them as furniture before they died. So it was like
sit real still.
And then it was kind of like by guy 5, did he not look at her and be like, this chair looks a little weird, this bed feels like he's watching me, I don't feel comfortable.
Right, because guy 5 is like, I know you're a person, like, just move.
Right. But I'm going to go ahead and sleep with her anyways. And then by guy 15, you're like, yo. But by guy 25, I feel like
she must have had some wop because.
Dead ass. But at 17.
Yeah.
At 17 to have killed and slept with.
More people than the years you were old.
Bro, that's wild.
Yeah.
But that was a good ass episode.
Yeah.
The guy with the... It's not funny because it's really traumatizing, I'm sure, for the family.
Really? For the ones that died? For the ones that it affected, I'm sure. I'm sure for the family whose mother was sat up on the couch at Christmas time.
You knew what I was talking about.
Pretending to open up gifts. I'm sure they felt away.
This man and his wife got to arguing. She fell
think it sounds
over.
so
She hit
casual?
a table. The lady died. It sounded pretty like a normal, like, accidental death. It would have been fine had he called the police and said something, but he had the daughter.
He didn't want to ruin Christmas.
He didn't want to ruin Christmas. It was Christmas Eve. He had the daughter help him carry the mom to bed. I don't know if he told her she was drunk or whatever, but then he got the mom up and put sunglasses on her and then sat her on the couch and the kids opened gifts.
At her.
The kids opened gifts in front of their mama, like Weekend at Bernie's. It was
Yeah.
like Weekend at Bernadette's. Like, I don't know what's going on, but the way that I envisioned that was just kind of humorous, and I feel really bad because I'm sure the kids are like, I hate everybody who fucking talks about this story.
And they probably don't celebrate Christmas to this day.
They probably don't.
They do not exchange gifts.
They probably went
They do
Jehovah's
Hanukkah.
Witness. No, they went Jehovah.
Oh,
Yeah, they're not gonna do no holidays. Period.
Get out of here with that trash ass
That part.
holiday and your gifts.
But yeah, so we did have some favorite episodes. Make sure y'all check it out. You can catch it on our website, 30rosespodcast.com, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Pandora, everywhere. We everywhere. So catch up on all 5 seasons. But
And get ready for season 6. Because I want to know what we got coming up this season.
Okay.
Let's talk
in
about
no
it.
particular order.
None.
We'll start with the recap episode.
In the recap episode where we talk about what we talked about.
Literally right now. But we do an episode that we have dubbed Real Reactions. And when we say real reactions, we mean REEL. We're trying something different. This was Nik B's idea. We'll see how it pans out. Producer got his hands full because he's like, you guys keep giving me shit to do and add.
So this is not my contract.
This is not what I asked
Just because
for.
we're friends right now, don't mean you can take advantage of my talents.
He's going to insert some random ass
Right.
shit.
We're going to be like,
this ain't what you guys are watching?
Really? Wow. To dead air.
Dead air completely. But we will be watching live some reels from social media. So it's kind of similar to Hot Topics.
Yeah.
And then we'll be reacting to it and then discussing what we saw on the reels.
Or how we, or even not only what
Our
we saw, but our
viewpoints.
viewpoints on the feedback that we're providing feedback to.
This sounds like a really trash episode.
Look, yo, if this is our least viewed episode, man, F that. Who cares? We tried something different, and sometimes it don't always work, and players mess up too. So move on.
Okay, moving on. The Black Mannequin Challenge. Pause. Okay. So
Would we play this back?
because I did not pick a good pose.
I didn't either. Looks stupid.
Why are we like this? Bryan Walden of Black
Yeah.
Mannequin. Now, if you guys follow me at all, you know that I love local clothing brands. We have tons of friends that have been on the show that have their own brands. Nik B has been taking these local brands back to the DC area, the DMV.
Showing them off, wearing them out,
You know, letting
people know where they can buy them.
Listen, you know, she's a fashionista.
Send me your merch so that I can let folks out there know what it's about.
Absolutely. We worldwide right now, so you know. But Bryan Walden came on and talked about his stories, his life, like how he got into doing Black Mannequin, how he got the name, which is kind of a cute story. And brought us some merchandise, and we had some really good conversations about just what it's like to be an entrepreneur, how he
navigates personal life and business,
relationships, even like why he made his adolescent choices that he had made, because that's an interesting story as well.
And how his adolescent choices have shaped him into who he is today.
Absolutely. And if you will see some content where he tells a story about throwing cinder blocks.
Right.
And you'll have
Don't
to
piss him
watch.
off. Just saying.
We got the Scrippa Chronicles part 2.
Yes.
That thong.
With Miss Chyna.
Yeah.
So I don't know if any of you guys recall back in season 3?
Season
or
2.
No.
It was.
That long ago.
It was.
All right, well, a couple seasons back, we had sat down and we did an interview with 2 male entertainers.
Shout out Superman in slow motion out of Dallas,
slow
Texas.
Mo, man, he still cracks me up. Anyway, we really wanted to do a take on life of men in the industry, the entertainment business, and hear some interesting stories about times that they've encountered aggressive women
Oh, yeah. The biting of the dicks.
biting of the tallywhackers. That's a movie trailer coming to you in the theater soon.
And she's the star.
I am not. That would be Leigh and the Muffins.
I don't bite. I don't bite.
See how you set yourself up? I don't bite. Okay.
Fuck my life.
So anyway, we really wanted to talk to a woman who is in the entertainment industry and just get a different take and hear the differences and experiences. And Miss Chyna delivered. I'm telling you, it was a
There's
great
some jaw
episode.
droppers in that episode.
Yeah, be sure to tune in for that one.
And be sure to tune in because we might make some content from her place of business.
I'm just saying that she cute too. So if you want to throw some money her way, she will take it.
Ow, we might drop her Cash App just because we support. We support
local small business.
She ain't small. She ain't small.
She ain't small at all.
But I am excited about that episode. He's gonna kill us again.
Ooh,
Popcorn
Poppy.
Listen. Why all the extra pops? He's really gonna kill us.
Yeah, he is. But he loves us too, though. So
we love him. David Ferguson, who is the owner of Joe Brown's Caramel Corn in Portland, which is like an iconic business that's been around since the 30s.
Yes.
And he took over in the past few years and opened up more locations. But not even just dwindling him down to just popcorn. He is like a mogul.
Multifaceted.
He really is like a mogul. Like
he's a licensed realtor. He owns lounges.
Yep.
Of course, he has the popcorn, the whole industry on lock.
Basically,
all of it.
He's the popcorn man.
And so much more. And he's been doing it for so long. It
was music publishing.
Oh yeah, he does have the music publishing company.
Platinum plaques.
Okay.
In his office.
Now we couldn't get him to drop anything for us because he did mention that he kind of dabbles.
He used to rap. And we're gonna find it on Apple, and we are going to play it.
We are.
At some point.
We're gonna start restreaming that.
We are. We're gonna bring it back.
But it's a great episode, and especially for those that are like-minded. And when it comes to business, he does leave some really good tips and nuggets.
not popcorn kernels, but nuggets.
Nuggets of wisdom on what it took for him to be successful. Of course, not everything applies to all people, but if you can take anything away from it, by all means, follow the blueprint.
Yeah. And it's funny because we did have a lot of entrepreneurs in the season, and you'll see the difference in
Different
where
styles.
they're at in their careers, their different approaches and things. He had a very calm, very focused view of entrepreneurship, where he was like, this is very much my priority. This is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to make the sacrifices that I need to make to get successful and be where I'm at. And he's absolutely enjoying life right now because of how he's been able to navigate his entrepreneurship. So we're happy to have had him here and to have y'all watch that episode. This one. It's Kilaa and Cool Nutz.
Oh.
I love them. Okay, the episode, we called it Power and Partnership, Love, Legacy, and the Industry.
Ooh.
Such a good title. Thank you, AI. But yeah, we went to school with Kilaa. I met both Nik B and Kilaa in middle school, but you knew her since elementary school. And Cool Nutz, aka Terrance Cool Nutz, is her husband, but is also like just not even like a local legend. He's internationally known. He is
Google
a rapper.
him.
You can Google him at this point. But he is a rapper, a producer, a manager. He is
a father, a husband,
all the things. But he has worked with some of the industry's greatest
top
entertainers and musicians, on top of being a really great one himself. And so he had so much great insight. But we got to talk to them about Kilaa being a freaking healthcare icon herself, because she does a huge amount of work here in Portland to make sure that there are no health disparities across the board for people. So she's putting in work, and she's worked really hard for her 20-year career in healthcare. So it's like this power couple of people.
And how they balance life, love, and work.
Absolutely.
Which is not easy. It's actually the downfall of a lot of relationships is not being able to find the time, and not just the time, but quality time to invest in your relationship. So if you are someone who's wondering how to make those things work in maybe your relationship, listen to what somebody else is doing and see if it works for you.
Right. Especially because with their situation, because he travels so much, she almost kind of can be able to give the standpoint of a single mom as well as a mom in a relationship, because you know, not that he doesn't contribute at all, but I'm saying he's gone a lot, so she has to step up in ways that many can relate to when you don't have a partner. And then she also gets to play the role of being like the supportive mom, the supportive wife, while he also supports her in her career and elevates her career. Like, they talk about how they both made sacrifices, and you don't often hear about how men sacrifice to help their women get to their elevation. And they also talk about
their village, and that both of them from both sides of their family have a village.
Yeah, so that it's like a super well-rounded dream team that they have there. So it was a beautiful episode, and I'm excited for y'all to see that.
Me too.
Our next guest, Leigh and Nik B. We did listener letters.
This was so much fun.
Y'all have been writing in.
You guys came through this season with the letters. We actually had quite a few. Some of them we weren't able to get to just because we only have so much time in which that we can actually read your story, but then also give it time and respond to it. So there were 3 letters that we took, and don't worry, we'll get to other letters. We'll read them other seasons. But we talked about these 3 different stories and
in a DM.
And in a DM. And we basically, we read them to each other or off. I think yours, you didn't have it to read, but either way, and just kind of got our feedback on advice they were looking for. And it ranged from a married couple not knowing how to talk to each other about not wanting to be at so many family-related events.
Right.
To a young lady who wants advice on her first time. She's a virgin.
The friend dating the friend's boyfriend.
Then the friend dating her friend's boyfriend and wanting advice on how she can salvage relationships when it doesn't look too good, fellas.
Then we had the friend going behind the friend and messing with the guys that the other friend had.
Yeah, kind of like a jealousy thing.
It was interesting. But there were some interesting letters. Yeah. Keep them coming. If you want to submit a letter at dirtyrosesletters@gmail.com, you can. And we'll take those via DM, letter, email, whatever.
So you can send it there, or if you can't seem to remember the email address, send us a message on Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah, absolutely.
We do not disclose names. If you should happen to insert a name, because it's natural to list when you're trying to keep a story straight, we will replace names. We don't want anyone to feel like
they're being put on blast.
Or that this is a segment to shame people who listen to the show if, it's a mutual thing.
It's judgment-free, usually.
Usually. We just judge each other. That's the judgment you're going to get us on us.
For that part. Oh, my goodness. So that was
Send
good.
them over.
Absolutely. Oh, when life gives you lemons, make chocolate dope.
Chocolate dope.
Okay. Listen.
Reggie is a character. Okay? You guys are going to love him like we did. We sat down here with this man, and he had us cracking up from the very top of the show all the way to the end. And along the way, he is a storyteller. And he has a story to tell. He's lived a lot of places. He'll know what I mean. Shout out to all 50 states, Reggie.
At that point.
But yeah, no, he's a businessman who has a story to tell. And it's just really nice, again, to see someone kind of pull themselves up from the bootstraps. When life gets you lemons, create your own business.
That part. And again, another local clothing brand.
Yeah.
Who has been expanding, because he's talking about he's got stuff being in movies now.
On Tubi.
Yeah. So, and he's going to be in some Tubi movies.
So he's an actor.
He's doing some things. Okay. So another clothing brand again. And like we said earlier, very different perspectives on how they approach business. So really good episode. We love Reggie. It was really funny. Off with his head. Life after Queen's Court.
Okay. This one, you guys are going to love this episode. We had the chance to sit down and talk to this gentleman who has been on a reality dating show.
Shout out to Zach Bayer.
Okay. Zach Bayer was on season 2 of Queen's Court, which is currently streaming on Peacock. You can check out both seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But this guest specifically on season 2. And if you haven't seen the show, it's great. So
it is.
They were essentially fighting for the love over Miss K. Michelle, Miss Lisa Ray, and Delicious, who,
to be fair,
is now known as London.
Yes. So you misreferred to her as London, but we're gonna say Delicious so that y'all know who we're talking about. But no, it was like seasoned women of the industry,
Mm-hmm.
giving bachelorette vibes
Yep.
without the drama. Like there wasn't much drama.
There
It was
wasn't
actually they
like,
were really
yeah,
friendly, which I actually kind of enjoyed. Like
yeah.
we
The
do
women, they
love us.
supported each other.
They did, and Zach was super cool because he was like, I can get some of the guys to come on. You know, we can do a whole thing, and I was like, oh, that would be so cool. We're not
But we
doing
only got so
virtual
much
right
space
now,
around this
right?
table.
But it was interesting to watch these men who were not of the industry.
Yeah.
Vying for the women that are,
Yeah.
and how they approached it. Each woman got to pick like the little gaggle of men,
The
and
gaggle.
so we get to talk to
To gag
Zach.
on.
We talked to Zach about his experience, what it was like having a couple of the ladies kind of
Want his attention.
want him. Yeah, so he was a little popular man.
Yeah.
Okay,
So please tune into this
Yes.
episode because you are going to get an earful. And please also watch the show on Peacock if you can, because
So you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, it is. It's entertaining. It absolutely good TV.
Yeah,
okay?
absolutely. And the great part is because he's actually from Beaverton.
Yeah. So you might bump into him, like at New
Yeah,
Seasons.
absolutely. We have local
Over by the
celebrities
oranges.
everywhere. By the oranges. Hello, Zach.
Hello,
I heard
Zach.
you were on the Queen's Court
Right.
and then Dirty Roses.
Right.
How do you like this orange?
How you like this orange?
That's a good pickup
Yeah,
line.
I'm just saying. That's where you should find your man.
Absolutely. Nik B,
Hi.
which episode are you most excited about for this season to air?
Oh, we've had some good ones this season, but when I say good ones, I mean like good topics.
Yeah.
I am really excited for Terrance, Mr. Cool Nuts, and
Yeah.
Miss Cool Nuts, Kilaa.
Miss Cool. I'm going to change her name in my phone to talk about that.
Just because, especially being a single woman who has not been lucky in love, it sparks that don't give up. It's still possible. There's great men out there. Good relationships do exist. Not everything is toxic. It inspires me to, kind of still keep at it. And so that one I really enjoyed. What about you? Do you have a favorite
You know
or one
what?
you're looking forward to?
I was reading down my list and I passed one all the way up altogether. You didn't even catch this.
What?
It was a catch me.
Which one?
Beyond the Influence with Mr. Art Williams of Influential Grooming Lounge.
I don't know how we missed that
I don't
one.
know either because celebrity stylist, not stylist, celebrity barber.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
So, okay, well, let's talk about that one because that
Yeah.
one is another one. I found that on this season that's coming up here, season 6, you guys are really going to get a chance to meet some people in the industry from different walks in the industry. And this particular episode that Leigh's referencing here is we get to talk to a celebrity barber. And how often do you even run across a celebrity barber
Right.
who has the intimate pleasure of sitting down and cutting someone's hair and having barbershop talk with a person in the industry? And I mean,
Right.
how cool is that to
Right.
have that 45 minutes alone with someone who's in high demand?
And not even just alone, but like 4 months at a time.
Yeah.
Because he's like the personal celebrity barber for Aldous Hodge, which he
Yep.
mentions.
And if you're looking for a good show to reference him in, recently there
Yes.
was a show called Cross
Yes.
on Amazon Prime.
Yes.
So be sure to stream that because that show will keep you on the edge of your seat.
It was good.
It's a really great
And
show.
shout out to our Portland friend, Johnny
Johnny Ray
'cause
Gill.
he was amazing as Bobby Trey.
Yes.
And
So
Portland's own.
Portland's
we doing
very
big things,
own.
But
Jefferson High.
man, Generals,
Okay, listen,
whatever.
we gotta rep our, because that's what we do here is we
We
all
do.
love our high schools, okay? So give them they flowers.
You can
They
take
can have
that,
them.
those little dim hoes.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Whatever.
Anyway, we love
But-
Johnny Ray Gill.
Yeah, we
so,
do. But Art was amazing. He talked about his different experiences doing, hair for different celebrities. Even just like the general barbershop talk was hilarious. The runouts, the fights,
we found out why there's chalk on these men's faces.
did not know.
Tune in for that. We
I was
don't
about
want
to
to give
say
it away.
too, we're not gonna give it away, but you gotta listen
Yeah.
for how that came about and where it started from. And when you hear the reason, you're gonna freaking crack up because I had
Crazy.
no idea.
Yeah.
But I did love that episode.
Which one was your favorite then? Now that we've kind of gone over all of them.
I'm with you on the Terrance Cool Nuts and Miss Kilaa Cool Nuts.
Miss Kilaa Nuts.
Only because I used to be in the music industry, so
Yeah.
it was great to connect with somebody who has that level of experience, and I did enjoy seeing how he navigated marriage.
Yeah.
But I'm Reggie cracked me up. Like there's a line in there that I want to say so bad, but I
But
need
you
you to listen to
save that
the
one.
episode to hear what I'm talking about. But
and then we're gonna take a
age,
poll, and then we're gonna take a poll and find out how many people think like him.
At his grown age, there is something that he truly believed about getting pregnant.
Yeah.
That we just thought that you should have known.
You need to watch.
That was funny. I really truly enjoyed the whole season.
Yeah.
I think that as entrepreneurs ourselves, it was a great season of entrepreneurship. It was a great season of learning about people's lives, and really humanizing everybody. So I don't know if I can pick one yet. I'll maybe have to watch them back.
But you also made a really good statement right now about entrepreneurship. And there's a couple things that us as entrepreneurs have changed this season specifically.
Yes.
One of them is our beautiful set.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit, Miss Leigh LaRie, about where we are and the inspiration behind this space?
Yes. Shout out to Labs Media. They are kind of like a creative space here that you're able to come into and do shoots, photo shoots, filming. You can even do events here.
Yeah.
You can connect with the folks, Ifani and Ime. Thank you. I work with Ifani. But you can connect with them, and they have collaborations with tons of people that can help you.
Local creatives.
Yeah, that can help you, finish out your project, whether it be makeup, whether it be stylist, sound engineering, videography.
All of it.
Super excited
Design,
about that.
graphic design, all of those things.
And I think we found our person. Did
we absolutely found our person.
We found our person.
Our person right here?
Right here.
Right here?
Right here.
Right here.
Mr. Better Days West.
Ooh.
Oh my God. Now y'all know we run through videographers like a hoe on 82nd.
Eating muffins
and working strange for change to make these things happen. But our guy Kenny Hamlet from Better Days West is like top tier videographer. He has his own podcast. He does documentaries. He does videos for nonprofits. And then he comes here and helps us out with our little set.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Guys, he's professional, involved, shares ideas without taking over.
Breaks the fourth wall and participates in our conversations because he's like our third host.
Executes all of our crazy ideas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolute pleasure to work with. And we highly recommend if you are looking for someone who can fit the space of all of the things that he's capable of doing, we just mentioned.
Absolutely. And on the table.
We have one of our sponsors for this season actually are these candles, which you may have seen before. Scent to Be. She is a Black-owned business here locally in Portland, Oregon, but don't let that stop you from ordering. She does deliver.
Wait, what? Well, she's Black-owned, so don't let that stop you.
Well, because I was trying to get at the Portland part.
Oh, gotcha.
I didn't want... She took it and she was like, what, because she's Black, we ain't going to buy her shit? No, I'm not saying that, damn it. What I am saying is that just because she's in Portland doesn't mean you cannot purchase her product domestically. Now, I don't know if she ships international, but if she does, I'm sure she'll find a way to get it to you.
That part.
And she is constantly coming up with new scents, new product. So it's kind of expanded. It started initially with candles, but she now also has incense. She has melts. She has sprays.
She has car air fresheners. She's been working on developing carpet fresheners. She's got the oil infusions, which are amazing. And these are some of the best, and I say this not
from a biased perspective.
I really mean it. Like, these are some of the best candles. They smell good before they're even lit.
Yeah.
And they smell even better when they are lit.
And I got that almond cherry. Ooh, it is still one of my favorites.
Listen, so I'm gonna tell you this. She does custom orders because we just had a gala from my day job. She made 400 individual candles for all of our guests. She does custom labels on the candles for whatever your event is. And every now and then she do a little special order. So like when we did our male review, she made us some penis wax melts.
Ooh, sprinkle me, baby.
When I tell you she does custom orders, she made me a massage candle.
Oh my gosh.
I have yet to use it. If you're trying to get massaged.
Oh my gosh.
And you want to try this candle out.
Oh my gosh.
Inbox me.
Ew.
You gotta have a good body though.
Okay.
I like rubbing on good bodies.
It's gonna be all around.
I love rubbing on big bodies too now.
Right. She does like a big body, baby.
I have been converted. Listen.
When we've talked about types in season 1, she was like, "Oh, I want a chiseled 6'9" stallion."
I did not say those exact words.
Essentially. But now today, she is quite happy with little marshmallows.
I do. I think I've shrunk a little bit, and I think once I shrunk, I like to. I'm not gonna lie. I will post a picture. I was a big girl.
What she's trying to say is that she likes her perspectives have expanded.
They have, and I like to
Yeah.
be wrapped. I like to tuck my feet under your belly because
Oh my
I get
gosh.
cold now.
Tuck her toes under your
I
tummy.
do. Let me lift that
Let
belly
me
up.
tuck a
And
toe under the tummy. Ooh.
I will shove my feet all the way up in your
likes foot play.
underbelly. I
Foot
do not.
play.
I do.
Basically,
I might.
she's gonna take her feet and do this with her feet.
I know somebody out in Portland that likes that.
Yeah,
But I
you
ain't gonna
do.
say no
Yeah,
names.
you do.
I ain't gonna say no names.
Yeah, you do.
He would kill
Anyway,
me.
so we talked about our location. We talked about our production, and we talked about one of our sponsors. But we have another sponsor that we partnered with this year, and you want to tell us about that?
And you will see it all season because we have been thoroughly enjoying them all season.
Oh, let me sip to that.
Well, you know what? Let's cheers. I can't reach. Clink. Wait, do it again. Clink. There we go.
Yeah. Can you add in a sound of clinking right there? Thank you.
He's been trying to be quiet. He's like, if y'all don't stop talking to me.
Have a seat, Kitty.
He should come on camera. Nebula 9 Vodka has been a sponsor for our entire season. They have been amazing. That was a good sound clip right there. They have an amazing vodka that is 4 times distilled.
4, not 3, and not
even
2, and
4. Quattro.
Yep.
She had to count that one. 4 times distilled. Agave sugars, which is like a natural sugar. All fruit, natural fruit juices. So no
Cold
added
pressed
sugars.
I don't know if it's cold pressed, but still, imagine cold pressed. It's that.
That part. And then the other part. Potato vodka.
It is a potato vodka.
So it's gluten free, and they have apple cider vinegar
Does
infused.
corn have gluten in it?
I don't know, but you have been so pressed about corn vodka, and I just don't understand it. Why we're talking about
Because
potatoes.
I only know potato and corn, and we keep saying potato, and that it's gluten free, which makes me wonder: is corn not gluten free?
I'm assuming it is, but I've never heard of corn vodka, so I don't know.
Y'all know about that gasoline in the South. Okay.
Oh my God, that moonshine!
Okay.
Listen. We talk about some Nebula 9 right now. Potato vodka.
This is one of the healthiest vodkas I know that kind of sounds a little crazy to say, healthy alcohol, but for those that are interested in drinking responsibly, this right here is one of the healthier options you can go with. It's good for your digestive system. It will not leave you with a hangover.
Right.
It's reasonably priced. It can be found in Costco. It can be found in select liquor stores. Great flavor. If you don't know how to mix a drink, these cans come pre-mixed.
Yes, they have some cans. So we were talking about the vodka itself and the bottles, but they have these ready-to-drink cocktails that come in a can, and it has 2 shots of liquor in these cans. They're about the size of an energy drink.
Yeah.
So it's pretty strong, but you don't taste the alcohol, and they are literally pre-mixed cocktails, 9% alcohol. So you ain't got to go heavy on them.
Okay.
But we did make some drink recipes this season, and you'll see those being shown on social media.
And they're fun.
Shout out to Pridefully Poured.
Pridefully Poured came in. They
curated
some 10 cocktails for us. A couple of them are named after us specifically. But they did it with us in mind, and they're excited for you guys to try their product.
Absolutely. Shout out Carly and Tanya.
Yeah, and if you're looking for anyone to host an event for you to pour for you at your events, Pridefully Pour
mobile service.
They can come out and they can do your events, which is amazing.
I love it. Well, we have a jam-packed season. We are jam-packed with sponsors.
Yeah. Get on or get left.
Kenny, come on camera. Just real quick. Come on.
Just
come on.
Real quick.
I didn't say it now, so now he has to.
Right.
He gonna put his head around like, hey.
It
is. Now we done called you out. What up, Ken?
Hey.
This is our guy. We found him.
Hear my voice every now and then.
Yes.
I try not to get too much in there.
We love it when he does. He gives some really good. He gives us really good insight about some of our episodes. Good feedback. So
Strippers.
You like the strippers?
Listen.
Kenny love the strippers.
He do listen. I'm gonna tell y'all this. Strippers. I mean. He do like to support strippers.
Yep.
He be tossing money, and when he told us how much he tossed, he likes to make it rain.
It makes me want to go strip too. I'm like, well, damn it, Kenny, if you're sending that out there.
Listen, we could work for a discount. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge.
Look, we'll do something strange for some change.
Listen, turn these cameras off. We kidding, kind of. Y'all, Kenny's girlfriend. I don't know. What's up, girl? Y'all, Nik B, where can they find you if they want a private show?
All right. So you guys, of course, can find me on all platforms of Dirty Roses Podcast. That be our website, our Facebook, our Instagram, our TikTok, or on YouTube. And if you're trying to reach me specifically, you can find me on Instagram at NikB_NikB, and that is Nick with a K. But Miss Leigh LaRie, where can we find you? And I'm now you. I'm me everywhere.
You can find me everywhere. I can be found on all social media platforms. Leigh LaRie, it's LeighlaRie. And like Nik B said, DirtyRosesPodcast.com, Dirty Roses Podcast on all platforms. Send us a letter, send us a review, give us a 5-star rating because we've been doing this now for 6 seasons, y'all.
We deserve them stars.
We do. And
what?
Over 15,000 streams.
Yo, over 15,000 streams. We got to thank you, our listeners, our viewers, for that. We appreciate it.
Yes, and
keep following.
Get us to like 30 this season. Come on now.
Yeah,
we on the
tell
way
a friend
up.
to tell a friend about us.
Hey, all right, we'll catch y'all this season. Thanks. Bye.
Guess what, Rose Buddies? We are thrilled to introduce our new sponsorship packages. Be sure to hit us up at DirtyRosesPodcast.com to inquire how we can showcase your brand on our platforms.